I'm just an average guy. I'm not smarter than anybody else. I've been around for a number of years, and probably my greatest and proudest accomplishment is I fathered two incredible children who are now adults, and I've got two amazing girl dogs who, are the joy of my life, and I get to help people all around the world, and I have actually since I was a child. The book that you see behind me, Life on Your Terms, is one of the books I've written, and one of the many programs that I teach, around the world or online, live, or in person. But it is about how we claim our power back. And when I was a child, there were two things I wanted to do. I wanted to be an actor and I wanted to be a mystic. My parents had put me in dancing and acting classes when I was 3 years old, just to get me well-rounded. Not that they would ever hope I would do something like that. Crazy though I am, that's what I decided I must do. And I was also raised Catholic at the time, and I thought this priest had this mystical connection with God. And so I wanted to have that kind of thing too. And so I asked my mom about the age of 6 to begin reading books that we had around the house. And so she read the Bhagavad Gita to me, and Khalil Gibran and Napoleon Hill, and, other Joseph Murphy and different things like that. And so I grew up on a diet of self-help and self-improvement, and got involved with hypnosis at an early age because my dentist was a hypnosis. And so, I learned, essentially therapeutic hypnosis. And I started teaching these things to teenagers and kids. And I got into acting as a profession and taught acting. And one thing led to the other. And in my book, I write about a personal crisis I had that as I came through the crisis, I locked myself in my apartment for well over 6 weeks to regroup and recollect, because I was having great difficulty facing the world and the friends who I had lost, and the business and the money that I'd lost. And so I devoted myself to sitting in my easy chair, 12, 15, 16, 17 hours a day, meditating and using hypnosis and using all this stuff to try and, make my life better. And during that time, I suddenly had an epiphany. I would go, why did this happen to me? Why? What's wrong? How could I be so stupid? Why does everybody hate me? How long is it going to take me before I get? And I said I was there 6 weeks. So I might have been 8 weeks, but I mean, the point is, about halfway through it, suddenly occurred to me that I did not care to know the answer to any of the questions I was asking. I didn't care how long it would take. I didn't care why I was broken or stupid or how come people hated me. I wanted to know what I could do to improve it, how I could feel better, and how quickly I could feel better, and how more confidently I could move through the world. And as I began to change what I was focused on and the questions I asked myself, I realized something really important. There's like two directions. One goes to hell and one goes to heaven, so to speak. And I had chosen this path to go to hell. I was asking all these questions that made me feel bad, made me think bad, made me speak bad, complaining and whining and blaming and accusing. And when I shifted in my chair, and I did get up to pee, and I did go, make some food. I wasn't just in a chair for, all that. But I did. I locked myself in my apartment. And but I learned that it's really important to set directions. If I want to get to New York, I have to at least be facing in the direction of New York. I can't be facing in the direction of California and expect to get to where I want to be very easily. So this was I was in my early 20s at the time. This was a huge breakthrough. I'd read Napoleon Hill almost every day since I was 6 years old, and these books every day, but I hadn't understood how to really implement and put them into practice. I'd had all the knowledge. I had I could quote them chapter and verse and things like that. But it wasn't until I started to ask myself new questions and set my mind in new directions that I got the experience of change that I had been seeking since I was about 6 years old.